What's the number one mistake you can make in your divorce? It's fighting with your lawyer instead of allowing them to fight for you. This happens most of the time because of a lack of alignment. I'm telling you, if you're going through a divorce and you need a lawyer, and most of you do, then you're gonna wanna make sure that you got one that you can trust and whose advice you're willing to follow. If you find yourself where you're fighting for yourself or for information or just with the strategies and tactics that your lawyer is suggesting, you need to switch horses and you need to do so fast. Another big divorce mistake is thinking that hiring a bulldog, somebody who likes to fight just for the sake of fighting, is going to really be the best choice for you. Like if you think that shock and awe, bringing in someone who's even fighting with you, is going to be the guy who's going to carry the day, you're mistaken. I mean, isn't it fighting that's gotten you to this point of wanting to get a divorce? What you want to do is work with someone who understands the issues of the case. And quite frankly, a big part of a divorce is drafting contracts that divide your property, set support, and make the rules of operation for parenting time. These people need to be level-headed. They need to be wise. They need to be able to guide you and provide you with good information so you can make sound decisions, not spending all their time spinning things up, arguing with opposing counsel and filing, a bunch of motions. The only person who really wins in those cases is the contentious attorney. Another big divorce mistake is going to the wrong place to get your advice. Hey, look, I have a JD and I have my Google MD, of course, like all the rest of us, but don't get your Google JD. And also don't go and consult people in, support groups on Facebook who have their Google JD. I get it. Lots of people have been through divorce and they've all got their war stories to tell, and that's all fine and good. But your case is unique to you. It occurred in a specific jurisdiction. It's going to be heard by a particular judge. All the cloud of witnesses are not the people who can accurately assess exactly what you need to do for yourself and for your family. So the antidote to that is get an attorney who can accurately assess your case and advise you in the jurisdiction in which you sat. Another big divorce mistake is using any attorney that you happen to know as your divorce attorney. Family law is actually relatively complex. It requires a certain amount of finesse, and I don't even honestly like to use GPs, meaning general practitioners, for divorces. The guy who can do your real estate deal, also file something for your car wreck, and, of course, take care of your family law problem. Those are all specialized areas. You need to find someone who really has experience in the courtrooms, in the county where your divorce sets. They're going to be the type of practitioner that can give you real advice on what might happen in court. And it's that type of advice you need in order to make good decisions that will hopefully help you settle your case, which is always the gold standard. Another big divorce mistake is price shopping for an attorney. Would you hire the least expensive person to do your heart surgery? No, of course you wouldn't. And, quite frankly, you're probably never going to face heart surgery, but you're going to face the consequences of what happened in your divorce day after day for the rest of your life. It's super important that when you're looking for an attorney, you're actually looking for a good fit for your case. And every case is different. You need tailored services. And most attorneys these days can tailor their services, maybe offer unbundled services, to assist you in doing parts of your case yourself so you can save cost. They can have their paralegals under their supervision, do pieces to keep your costs down. But almost never is going with the cheapest guy with the cheapest suit on, the courthouse corner going to be the best fit for any divorce case. Another big mistake that people get into is this idea that they can hide assets or that their spouse must be hiding assets. What you're going to find out is through the process of discovery and examining accounts, almost always there's going to be a trail. We've even gotten forensic accountants involved, and you don't want to be caught being the one that's hiding it. But also at that same time, you need to trust your attorney and trust experts who have examined documents when they tell you that there really isn't that Irish pot of gold hidden at the end of the rainbow. Another big mistake is expecting that you're going to get full custody because you were the primary parent during the course of the marriage. When two people split, parents split, those things are going to change. Your children are going to end up spending more time with the parent who worked than they did before. It's just the nature of the game. And even making the arguments to the court that they shouldn't have that time can have a real negative impact on your long-term working relationship with that parent, as well as it can make the court think that you're not willing to encourage love and affection between your children and their other parent, which could cost you time. So be realistic about your expectations on parenting time. Another huge mistake people make in divorce is not remembering to update their estate planning and beneficiaries with their insurance, their 401ks, things of that nature. To avoid those unintended consequences, as part and parcel of this new chapter, you need to have a new will or trust and make sure that, all your documentation is updated so the people that you want to have your new assets, the ones that are now yours and not y'all's, go where you want them to go. If you don't want to make mistakes in your divorce, reach out to us and we'll set up a case evaluation to go over your situation with you and formulate a plan to get you from where you are to where you want to be just as quickly and cost efficiently as possible.